hydration.
That's not even real. Do you not like water?
Wendy, this is a propyl with a liquidative in it. It's like double hydration. You can't get more water than this.
You guys are recording this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not real water.
I've survived on it for a long time.
Do you drink any water at all?
Propyls?
That's not real water.
What do you mean? It's usually clear until I put a liquidative in it. ARFID, Wendy. I have ARFID.
I know. I'm sorry. We're not supposed.
I have ARFID.
See,
we've talked about ARFID on every episode.
See, we are going to be talking about cancel culture on this episode of Forever Frenemies. Frenemies Forever.
The Forever Frenemy show.
Yeah. And I'm going to get canceled for making fun of your disability.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
And mental illness, because apparently that's mental illness too, right?
Yeah, it is actually. And I think the thing about it is, Wendy, is I'm not putting up with this from you anymore. Okay. I'm standing up for myself and saying, you need to leave me and my illness alone.
Are you going to sue me?
Well, the last time I tried to sue somebody, it didn't work out too well. And when people try to sue me, I don't think it works out well for them either. Right. So we're gonna get out of the lawsuits. That's it. We're moving on from lawsuits.
Okay.
We are now getting into cancel culture.
I think we need to talk about it because I just think that it's very amusing to me to see childless and single women comment about relationships on the internet. I mean, it's all for clout. It's all for clicks. And that's the way you do it. You say very outrageous, outlandish things for a reaction, because when you get a reaction, it's more traffic. And it's actually beneficial for some people, depending what they get canceled for, to actually get canceled because it makes them more popular. They can sell more things.
What should I say to you to get canceled?
For me to get canceled?
No, what should I say to you so I get canceled?
I don't know. People love and hate me. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they love and hate me too.
Yeah.
We were meant to be frenemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think cancel culture is extremely dangerous, but I would like to say that I believe that we're actually seeing a reversal of that. I think we're actually seeing where people are fed up and tired of the cancel culture, and now they're pushing back against it. And so if you have, let's say, a media company or a platform, and you want to cancel somebody, but your terms of service make it clear that they're not violating anything, what do you do? How do you cancel somebody like that?
Dude, I've seen people like pay people to remove them from social media, and I'm 100% against that. Just because I don't like somebody, I don't care for their opinions, I don't want to see anybody silenced, except there's one group of people that I will say yes. And I feel like a general consensus in America and globally, this particular group, the pedos.
Vegetarians. What?
The pedos.
Oh, I thought you said vegetarians.
No, vegetarians are okay. But like people that cause harm to like animals or kids, like that type of stuff, that and that's why I can't operate in a true decentralized economy. I will cancel them until I have no more breath because, you know, we're parents. I'm a mom. I was a dog owner at one time. And I just.
Well, that's the unpardonable sin, really. Because, I mean, it's when someone does that, their mind is so warped that you can never trust them again, especially when if it's somebody that you suspect is like a weirdo creeper, it's one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it makes it better, but usually it's somebody you wouldn't expect it from. And that's what's so dangerous. And that's what makes it like pretty much unforgivable. Now, look, you can forgive somebody and you can let go of your anger and resentment, but you can never forget something like that.
No. But I think the thing is too, is like I feel like there's also a very fine line in today's society about having a concern that somebody may be that, because generally what happens is the people that we don't ever expect to do those things that end up doing it, there's red flags. There's a tactic that they can use to blind that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look at Jerry Sandusky. I mean, I think that he's like got to be one of the most evil people that ever lived. Do you know who he is?
I remember him. He was a sports guy. Wasn't he a college coach for something?
Defensive coordinator for Penn State. This man designed an entire charity nonprofit organization as a funnel to molest kids. Like, that's beyond the pale. But the interesting thing about Jerry Sandusky is that almost everybody around him knew and nobody said anything.
See, that's a problem.
It is, for sure.
Like, this is the thing. I'm not a rat. I'm not a tattletale. I'm not going to like go out of my way to be like, hey, this person did this. But when
Something like that you do.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was gonna say. When it involves innocence, something like that, like even with like men or women that I've known that have been taken advantage of that type of way, I will say something. Like I will be screaming at the top of my lungs. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit different.
I can clearly say nobody's ever tried to take advantage of me. It's unfortunate. It's sad, really, I think. Wow. So Jerry Sandusky. So here's the thing. Not only did people around him know, but people saw, like, it's almost like they're so obvious with what they're doing it. They're hiding it right in plain sight. Like I watched this, documentary on the whole thing where they showed like he would go to a pool, like, and they would play in the pool with the kids. But like he's touching them underwater, he's doing all kinds of like, and it was right there for everybody to see. One of the dads noticed it and confronted him and said something, and he never did again. But it's like people are so scared to say something.
I don't understand why.
Well, it is. If you know the person, it is very awkward. Of course, if you suspect that they're,
I don't know. For me, it would be like, okay,
you have to catch them red-handed.
Let me put this into perspective for you. I lived in a very not so nice neighborhood that I owned a home in. And you probably wouldn't want to say things to any of my neighbors, like if you saw them on the street. But one of the kids was like outside screaming and crying, like ran out and hid.
Yeah.
So I walked across the street and made sure he was okay. And it was just him and his brother. You know, brothers are being mean to him, whatever, because kids do that stuff. But I needed to make sure the kid was okay for my own well-being.
Yeah.
And like, I have no problem doing that. Even if it's somebody that I know or whatever. When it comes to that type of stuff, no problem at all. Confronting for me.
Well, it's the questioning of it. It's kind of like if you see a woman and you think she's pregnant, but you're not 100%. You don't know for a fact she's pregnant.
Well, that's a rule. Like one of the rules is with women, you never comment about their weight. It's common knowledge. You just don't do that. You get canceled for that. I'm going to cancel you for that.
I usually make you wait a lot.
You do.
Yeah, I do.
And
I canceled.
Canceled. Uh-oh.
There we go.
No, you do. Not today. I actually made you wait today.
You did, actually. That was really good. So it's like the pregnancy question. Like, you know she's pregnant. You're almost positive. But there's that thinking that's like, God, what if? And that's kind of like this situation. If you see someone that you think is doing something, but you don't have 100% proof, that thing in your brain will be like, okay, keep your kids away from them because like you're a little skeptical, but do you have enough information, evidence to confront that person? Because when you confront that person on that issue, it's never the same between you and that person again, for sure.
Right. I mean, I don't know though. I'm very particular who I allow my child around.
That's the first step as a parent. But I think we agree that's a group that should be canceled.
Oh yeah, of course.
Outside of that, it's really hard to like. Yes, you have people you don't like Republicans don't like Democrats don't like Republicans, but you can't cancel the other side.
I think it's
they have different
silly.
opinions.
I just think I like just to say that they're idiots, and I just don't listen.
Yeah.
Like unless I'm researching something and I want to get a bias so that can help me be a better, like have more information. But I don't really like the canceling of people. I think cancel culture is ridiculous. I do think that there are some people that do incite violence with like, and we've seen it on crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
Like when people remember when there was like a 2-year period where I was getting attacked very aggressively every week for like 2 years.
I do, and then it changed to me.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was terrible. And that was terrible too. Like, because the thing is like with cancel culture, there's a lot of half truths being posted or half truths being said, or people will take a clip, they take it out of context. And that bothers me because like, even if it's me or not, it's like, I want to know the whole story. Like people will take clips of me. Like, well, you said this. And I'm like, did you watch the 5 minutes after that or the 5 minutes before to give context? Because our attention spans are so short. And to me, that's very sad. Not for me, because I don't do that type of stuff. Because I think people who do participate in cancel culture are idiots. And they make my IQ go down by being around them. So I just choose to not deal with it.
Right now, it's going through the roof, though. Your IQ.
Oh, God, help us. Is it? Is it really, though?
Yeah. I mean,
my daughter almost beat you in chess. Well, she did good. She didn't almost beat you, but she did good.
I have a really hard time in chess sealing the deal. Okay. You know, that's my thing is I can play great, but when it's time to put the person in checkmate, I'm very OCD and I tend to want to take all the pieces first. And so I'm looking at the other pieces on how I can take them out instead of, in 2 moves I can checkmate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did beat you in rock, paper, scissors, though.
She crushed me. She beat me 9 times in a row without stopping.
I have a 6-year-old for those of you who are curious.
Yeah, I had to quit. And then I beat her one time and I said, no more. That's it. I went out a winner.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
But like getting back to, are you going to cancel my daughter?
Yeah, actually. Well, I canceled her king last night. Took that thing right over.
You did.
Yeah.
She was pretty, that was her first game of chess.
I was very impressed. She like, there's a lot of moves that she makes the wrong move, but when you correct her, she's like, oh yeah. And she moves back and moves it the right way. So
Yeah. She's
that's
like,
how I beat her. I told her what moves to make.
Yeah, she's smart like her mother.
Yeah. I thought she was your daughter.
Anyways, back to cancel culture. I don't know. So we have to talk about it, even though it's so annoying to me. We'll talk about Andrew Tate because everybody loves to talk about him. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I don't care for him. I don't care for a lot of things he says. I don't care for a lot of his opinions. And I have the reason why is because of life experience that I had growing up, how I grew up with different things that happened to me. But I don't think he should be canceled at all.
Yeah.
Like people want to partake in his platform and pay him money to learn how to become masculine or to learn how to whatever it is that he sells. That's their business.
Yeah. His entire demographic is made up of the people that need what he's selling because they can't get girls.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the entire demographic.
Well, and also
of Andrew
women,
Tate,
also
pretty
childless
much.
women and women that have never been in serious relationships that think that that's.
Can we call them childless birthing persons? So we don't
No,
get
I'm not
canceled?
going to call them a birthing person. Y'all can cancel me for that. I don't know if you know this, but I delivered my daughter with my bare hands, like with my hands. I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Like you used to work for UPS?
The stork.
Oh, the stork.
Yeah.
That's good.
But being a woman is very special to me, just like I think being a man is very special. And everybody in between that decides that they want to do something else, that's amazing. I'm happy for them too. But I am a woman. I'm not a birthing person. I'm a woman who gave birth, and I'm very proud to be a woman who gave birth. It's very special.
Yeah, it's interesting when you think about cancel culture because a lot of it is obviously based off of like, I don't know, like a woke mentality or like an offended mentality, a snowflake mentality, whatever you want to say. They're trying to drive somebody away because they don't like their message, you know? And I think it's just so much easier probably to just tune out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really care for some of his stuff. Like, I understand the ideology of like needing strong men because men have been demasculated in society, especially in Western culture. I totally get that. I agree with that. But that is a lot of that time is a societal problem, and it's a problem in your local community. It's a problem maybe in your income bracket. It's a problem at home. Because let's face it, I grew up super poor. I grew up in a household without a father because my dad passed away, got sick, and he passed away. You know, it was not really by choice. So I get that. But at the same time, I feel like we should look within our local communities and try to uplift that way instead of seeking for people that live lives that are completely different than ours. Because let's face it, how many people's lives are similar to Andrew Tate's? How many people are paying for his services to become masculine that their lives are similar to his?
None. Probably none.
Well, that's my thing. Is like it doesn't make sense because you're listening, and I think that some of the things that he says, if you can filter out the BS and filter out the theatrics, the entertainment, the clicks, or the clickbait crap that he posts, then that's fine. That's good. If you're taking something good from it, but you're also able to understand what masculinity is, what being a woman is, and also showcase decency for both sexes or whatever, anything in between, I'm with it. But the issue that we're seeing is like, oh, you're this, you're that, and there's a lot of derogatory things that are being said about women. I can kind of understand that because we're in this like weird battle of the sexes thing. But at the same time, I think part of the problem we have is that a lot of us weren't brought up around healthy relationships. We don't know what true love looks like. We don't know what working out in a marriage looks like. Because how long have you and your wife been married?
14 years, I guess, because we got married in 2009. So yeah, 14 years this year.
Has it been hard or was it super easy?
Well, we definitely had some hard years. The first year was pretty tough just because you're getting to know each other and we had to move. We had a place to stay and then we had to move an apartment. It was kind of drama. And then, like life kind of just gets complicated at certain points, So obviously we struggle with money at different times, not now, but we did. And, like I promised her I'd buy her a house when we sold our last house in 2 years with cash. And I did it.
Awesome.
I made it. But for about a year and 3/4 of a year, we thought, no way it'll happen. but came through in the clutch. So like we've worked out like any of our financial problems and stuff that we've had in the past, but we have pretty good marriage. But we don't fight. It's not hard. I know like marriage is hard, but for us, it's kind of like we're always so busy and we make time for each other and make it happen. But
you put in work. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
both put in work.
Yeah.
So, and I think part of the problem we're seeing is why men and women hate each other so much, and they need people like Tate to get advice from, or this false narrative is that they weren't brought up in a household that showcased that, and also too, we're in a society to where everybody wants instant gratification. Relationships are not instant gratification in any way, shape, or form. They're not at all. Like, you actually have to put work in. Like, my grandparents, they were married for like 50 years. Put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And you guys put work into your relationship. Like, even as a business, like your business partner, do you guys get along on it? Do you see eye to eye on everything, or is it actual work?
oh no, we almost hate each other.
Okay.
We had some knock down, drag out fights for sure. Okay. Knock out, drag down, drag
out, whatever
it is. We've had some for sure. We've had about 5 or 6, like just about coming to blows. And it's like, I think about Kobe and Shaq. Like, guys, couldn't you just get along to win another championship? Couldn't you just get along? Now I understand it.
Yeah, sometimes some relationships are hard, and I think that's one of the biggest problems is the cancel culture when it comes to like men versus women. I feel like that's the biggest thing. It's like a battle of the sexes. We've always had a battle of the sexes, but it's like, to me, it's just so weird.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Why?
Well, I like to win, so we always win.
I know, but I win too. But I'm kind of like a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Wendy's a dude, y'all.
I am, kind of, sort of.
Wendy's going to be transitioning.
Yeah, to becoming more famous than you.
Wow. Okay. All right. So a career change then.
I wouldn't want that ever.
Yeah. No, you would not want this.
No, because I am more. I don't really like confrontation, but I'll do it if I have to.
Yeah.
But I'm also like from that mindset. It's like, do I really have to argue with this person over something stupid? Like, just leave me alone.
I know. Sometimes you just can't help it though. Like I can't help it sometimes. Like I want to argue with people.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I mean, but also too, like when you're in the midst of like, especially like crypto Twitter tries to, it's so funny.
It's like high school.
It's like, no, it's worse than high school.
It is.
It's like they try to cancel each other over everything. It's like, oh, you did this. No, you do that. No, you did this. And you do that. It's like, shut up. Like if you shut up and you focus on making your own money, like if you focus on your own bags and like educating yourself and figuring these things out, you do really well.
I think what you're saying right here is dead on, because, and this is for the audience, like, you may not be tuning into this podcast because you feel like this is going to give you the latest, greatest crypto advice and crypto news to where you're going to be able to become rich just like Wendy.
You want to know how you actually can become rich in life in any aspect is taking accountability for your actions and trying to think as positive as you can and self-education. That's literally how you can. And that's not even about making money in crypto. It's not about, I think that's in every industry is people do not want to take accountability, which I get because I was that angry person for a long time. But they don't want to take accountability and they like to blame things on other people. It's so much easier to blame on somebody else and say, gosh, golly, I was wrong. I hate being wrong. Like I hate being wrong. Yeah. But at the same time, like I'm willing to say, hey, I was wrong. And that's like once I started doing those things, once I really focused on self-education, taking accountability for my shortcomings and for and trying to think with a more positive mindset and being negative, because a lot of my past trauma really pushed me to become a negative person. But once I made those changes, that's where I started doing significantly better in all areas in life. Yeah.
I think that everybody can improve. Everybody can look at ways they can get better. You can always look at how you can improve your content, for instance, unless you get canceled. Then you can't make content. But the point is, back to crypto Twitter, talking about, people canceling other people and how you can actually take some information from this podcast and literally be better. You can be a better person and you can actually be a better trader. You can be a better crypto enthusiast, whatever the case may be. Just verify everything you read before you make an action. That's one thing you can do. If you see something about someone, like, let's say somebody says like, oh, you didn't know Wendy, like she robbed a bank. Like, how about instead of just spreading that, you go verify that first. And if you don't have the expertise to be able to verify that, then how can you trust what another random person is saying if you can't do the back end work? And I think that's one thing that definitely needs to happen. Stop spreading rumors. Stop, calling people out. Guys, this is crypto. It moves in a cycle. People are going to come in at the top. They're going to sell at the wrong time, or they're going to hold all the way down to the bottom. It happens. It's part of the process. It doesn't mean that we were misguided YouTubers when prices were bullish. It just means everybody's not going to sell. Everybody's not going to take profits. You can be up 500% on a coin, and then 2 years later, you can be down 90%, and that's not my fault. Every person's got to figure out their own strategy for taking profits. Wendy always says it. Take those profits, get those moon bags.
And your audience gets mad at me sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm never selling. Wendy bear. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll be the villain. I'll be the villain on your channel. But it's okay. Like, I don't mind doing that. But also, too, I think the most important takeaway is the definition of an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the definition of an investment is?
It's like if you have, it's like a little piece of candy, and if you break it open, there's a vest inside.
Okay, so an investment. An investment is not a Cadbury egg, which I really like those.
I love Cadbury. Wait. You like the big ones or the mini ones, or you like the Robin egg ones?
The big ones with the old.
I like the smaller size ones too that come in the same wrappers.
Okay.
They're smaller. They come in packs of 8.
Okay.
Maybe packs of 12. Everybody in my family knows around Easter, you better give me some Cadbury eggs if you love me.
Okay, so back to what a real investment is. So an
Exactly.
investment means you take disposable income. And this is not the official definition. This is my definition.
So it's busted.
But you take money, disposable income, after you've done your due diligence, you would put it in something. Number could go up or go down, but it's basically, it's not guaranteed to make you rich. 401ks are not guaranteed to make you rich. IRAs are not guaranteed. SEPs, all those traditional financial investments or whatever, they're not guaranteed to make you rich. Nothing is. An investment is not a guarantee. It's associated with risk.
Yeah. I think that's something that a lot of people, they just miss in crypto is like 50% of people are going to win, 50% are going to lose. You got to figure out how to put yourself in the 50% that win the most. If you look at Las Vegas and you look at sports betting, for instance, we've been doing some sports betting on Twitter. We're 2-1 right now, doing pretty good. Lost on a buzzer beater in the Final Four for one of the games, but I think when you look at the money line, or no, excuse me, not the money line, the point spread. The point spread is the number of points one team is supposed to beat another team by. Now, the reason why they do that is to keep it where almost all the bets are going to come in 50-50.
Yeah.
Because you add those points to make the one side say, I know we're going to win, but I don't know if we're going to win by that much. So it's the same concept. You're just trying to get more wins than you have losses. And in trading, it's that way too. You're not going to win every single time. You're going to lose sometimes. You're going to buy coins at the wrong time. You're going to panic sell. You're going to need some liquidity and got to get out of a project at some point.
Or an exchange goes down and you think an exchange might go down, so you move your funds off.
Yeah, exactly. An exchange goes down. An exchange, CEO might go down on Caroline. So it's kind of weird.
Well, eventually it's going to be in isolation, probably.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of LARPing.
A lot of LARPing
Privately.
Yeah. So I think that, at the end of the day, you should know what exchange you're using. You should obviously custody your money. But if you lose it because something's a scam, then that's bad. It sucks. It's happened to a lot of us. But if you lose it because the value goes down, that's part of the process.
Well, but also the part of the process too is like a lot of people, this is the thing, in America, we are taught, you go to school, you get a 9 to 5, you put your money in a 401k, you pay your Social Security, and that's what you retire on. We're not taught how to invest in a 401k. Mm-hmm. So we're not taught to do our own due diligence. We're not taught to look at, okay, this is what my company is offering. These are the companies that they say to invest in. These are the choices. When I picked,
I don't even really know what one is. I've never had one.
I had one because of my old job. My mom was like, oh, you need to match your 401k. I can't say the term because I will get canceled for it, even though I am that. But I literally looked for, there's a couple things that I look for to invest in. And they did well in beating, but now it's down significantly.
Yeah. Well, and that's a risk you take. When you make the investment, you know it's a risk. Like right now, as we are sitting on this show, sure enough, I have a Dogecoin short. And I could lose 40% of my account potentially if it goes wrong. I'm down 4.15% right now. I was up 18%. You know what I did? I didn't take the profits. Whose fault is that? Is
It's
it
mine.
Yes, it is Wendy's fault.
It's my fault.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So, Wendy, can you reimburse me for the money I just lost
I guess. Do you want me to?
in Doge?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, since it's my fault.
Wendy has Doge. That's the takeaway here, guys.
I actually do have Doge.
Do you really?
I have a moon bag.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I bought 40 to 60 sats. That thing pumped. I think I 10 times my investment. I made a moon bag of it. And people are like, oh, you sold the bottom. I was like, no, idiot. I bought sub penny. Like,
Yeah. I think I bought it I think the first time I bought during the whole craze was like 1.2 cents. And it finally popped over a penny. And then it went all the way up to like 9 cents, I think, in short order. Came back down, sold it. I sold it at 9 cents. And then I got back in, I think around 25 cents and wrote it up to 77. So we did this thumbnail about Shiba, about Dogecoin the day of the Elon Musk Saturday Night Live thing. If you remember my interview with Pomp, my debate with Pomp.
oh God. You know what?
Yeah. I watched it the other day, actually. First time I'd watched it in a long time. I mean, I don't go around and watch my videos. I was watching it for a specific reason.
I wish I was a better grifter. I'd be so rich. I should have started a paid trading group in 2018.
Yeah.
I would have made so much money, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I should have.
Well, maybe we can find a time machine.
Yeah, we should go back. I would have made so much money. I wouldn't be here. I would be like on an island somewhere.
See, I can never abandon my people. I'm here for you whether I'm rich or not.
No, I would still be around, but I would be like more chill. Like it'd be more chill, more lax. It wouldn't be like, it would just be different.
You do what everybody else does.
What?
When they get big on crypto Twitter or on crypto YouTube.
What?
They disappear. They make their money and they leave.
No, I probably would stay because I
would make you stay. You cannot leave.
No, I'm going to stay because you want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm petty in my existence. The fact that I'm alive makes people so mad. And it's literally...
That's the bond we share.
Yeah. And it's literally the funniest thing is people don't realize like the real scammers in crypto, like the people that are running the real scams, they are run by a very, very small group.
Yeah.
And they're bad people. So nobody talks about it. And the exposers are doing terrible things themselves, but they deflect the blame on other people.
Well, it's look this way while I do that. And that's what happens a lot of time. So in crypto, I mean, there's definitely a lot of scams out there in crypto, for sure.
There's scams in every industry, like in fitness.
There's male scams. There is, and not as in the gender, as in like you get scams in your mail all the time.
There's counterfeit stamps.
Yes, counterfeit stamps.
There's
I actually didn't know that. I said yes, like I knew that. I've never heard that before.
yeah, there's counterfeit everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, too, like I just
Counterfeit Monopoly symbols from McDonald's. Remember that?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they counterfeit or were they the real ones? I can't remember. That was a scam. The whole Monopoly game was a scam at McDonald's.
I used to be so excited to play that
Me
as a
too.
kid.
I worked at McDonald's. The hash browns was the way to go. Get like 10 of them for $10 and just pull them all off. You never got the one you needed, but
Yeah, I think you see, McDonald's is a scam.
it is a scam.
Yeah, I think the biggest scam though is the credit cards that they give you cash back on and entice you to make purchases on debt for food
Yeah.
and different stuff like that.
I don't get into that.
I don't either.
Yeah. And I know people swear, like, I'm trying to get my miles. I'm like, well, you could have saved your money and just bought the ticket,
Yeah.
you know? So we use our miles for sure. I have a lot of miles because I travel a lot, but Allison takes care of all that. I want to go back to Andrew Tate because
talk about him.
So I was supposed to interview Andrew Tate before he got arrested. It was supposed to be sometime Q1 this year. So it should have probably already, I guess it is now Q2. So it should have happened already. But he's been in jail in Romania. And if you look at what happened, it was very interesting because obviously he tried to, the pizza box that was on his table when he was making fun of Greta.
I don't think that was they caught him with the pizza box though. I think that was BS.
That might be where they found him at. That's not why they arrested him, obviously.
No, I know it's not why they arrested him,
Yeah.
but I honestly think that was BS. Like if you're somebody who's apparently is doing the things that he was accused of doing, I think that there's just some other questionable things that he said that I'm kind of like. I don't know. I wouldn't be super excited. I just think it's very weird boasting about going into an area where you can bribe people and talk about bribing people and then expect them not to get pissed off or making them look stupid. Because I am Romanian on my father's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah. On my father's side, they're German Romanian Jews.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My grandpa, his mother and father, his people, they literally made money in the circus. That's how they lived. I'm 100% serious.
Well, and you have just taken the mantle.
Taking the mantle because I run my own circus.
Exactly.
But
my fifth grade teacher, told my mom at a parent teacher conference that this crushed my mom. She said, "You do realize, Miss Smithyman," she said, "you do realize you're raising a circus clown, don't you?" That's what she told my mom.
Well,
the joke is, YouTuber just wasn't invented yet.
Yeah, so I wouldn't go, and I even know this too, and maybe it's because I have street smarts. I don't know, but I wouldn't go into
streets.
But I wouldn't go into a country and brag on the internet about doing illegal things.
Well, he's not American, right?
I have no idea what he is.
I don't think he's American. I think that Americans probably think a lot more about how to behave in a different country.
That sounds like a personal problem, though.
Yeah,
it sounds like not having.
Because I'm very careful in other like I'm terrified of ending up in like a friggin' Singaporean prison or something like that. Like in Dubai, I almost jaywalked, and I was like, no, I'm not going to jaywalk. I don't want to go to jail here. You just don't know what to expect. Like, see what Sam had to go through in the Bahamas. I mean, we love that he had to go through it, and it was still cush for him, but it was a bad place, that Bahamian jail. So,
well, that's the thing is like other countries everyone find out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think that it was like ridiculous. Like, and I get the whole like machismo thing like that because that's his audience that he's preaching to. But I just thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
To do that, like I wouldn't.
I think he went a little too extra on it.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to know. But I mean, I guess he's home, which is good for him. Apparently, those allegations weren't true. However, some of the other things, just from my personal life experience, can be a little bit. I'm kind of on the fence about.
So I'm the kind of person where I can usually, unless someone's my enemy, if somebody's my enemy, I can't see any good in you at all. But if someone is not my enemy, I can see both the good and bad in them at the same time. Like there's a lot that I like about Andrew Tate. There's a lot I like about him. But with all the stuff that can't, now I never listened to Andrew Tate. Like I'm not pulling up his podcast. Like I know my trainer at the gym loves Andrew Tate. So I hear about him all the time, and I hear about, the stuff with him in jail. I hear about his brother Tristan. I hear about that a lot. And, he likes him. And so I hear all this stuff. So I know what he's about. And I've seen clips, obviously, a lot of clips from him. But I've seen some stuff during this whole thing that I just didn't like. I did not like. And so, like, I'm not going to defend him with reckless abandon because there's some things he's done that I don't like and I disagree with. But I will defend his right to say whatever he wants to say for, First Amendment, even though he's not American. But I think when you can look at the good and the bad in somebody, that's what prevents you from, going to a place of cancel culture. Because there are people that he helps.
I agree.
He's given confidence to people. He's allowed or helped people to like speak up for themselves and understand that like you don't have to cave into everybody else's whims. Get some confidence. There's some good stuff. I didn't like the video I saw of him hitting the girl. That was not. Do you know the one?
Well, I think that was consensual though.
It says it was consensual. And look.
Okay, so
it did not look consensual. It looked like she was going along with it. But it didn't look truly consensual. Like, well, that's I don't know.
Okay, so
it's a hard thing to judge.
That's the thing is like, and that's where I'm kind of on the fence about it because I understand that there's people because I don't kink shame at all for anybody. Like I really don't want to hear about people's kinks because that's their personal business. I think that type of stuff should be private. But at the same time, if that's what somebody's into, that's great.
I like potatoes.
Potatoes are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potatoes have
a kink. You just lay on the potatoes.
No, but you know that potatoes have an endorphin.
Dump them out.
They have a chemical in them, an endorphin that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thing is like I don't like to kink shame people, but at the same time I understand that there's a group of women that
potatoes, not to be confused with toes. Sorry.
That are that can be sensitive to certain things that men say.
Yeah.
And that's generally if you're abused young or you come from, DV or SA and stuff like that. And I come from that background. So I remember being a young girl in Hollywood and men would I've almost got put on casting couches a couple times. There's one particular time I remember, and I used to go to this club, and this bouncer, he and I had both Sicilian backgrounds, and he was a good friend of mine. He would always let me in. And then one night he was like, he wanted in this, and then I realized this as an adult. He was being super nice to me because he wanted me to go back to his house to do the P word. And when I remember after a year, to go eat potatoes. And I remember he invited me, and I was like, and to tell me what we were going to do. And I was like, I was sad. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God. But that's a tactic that is used. So I just get a little bit, I'm a little bit concerned for that demographic because it's almost happened to me a couple times. And I think that they do prey on poor, emotionally distraught young men and women. Because you see that, like, I've seen that with men too. So that's the only thing that worries me a bit. And I don't mind people that do like sex work. It's like, that's your business. If you understand that there could be some mental health.
You're talking about like the founder of Uniswap.
Yeah.
That's Dex work. You mean like Sam or CZ? Sex work.
Anyways,
that's centralized exchange, folks.
It is centralized exchange. Just as long as you understand there could be like mental
centralized exchange of fluids. Sorry.
There can be like mental health ramifications and all that type of stuff. Like, that's your business. I don't mind consent between two adults, but at the same time, I get a little bit weary about that because I have a daughter and like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I do like.
What kinks people with ARFID have? That's what you're talking about?
But one thing I do like
ARFID makes it to every episode.
I think that he gives some good advice to certain people.
Yeah.
And if they're able to kind of weed through the BS and take that and become more independent and confident, have a better mindset without being an animal to another human being or still showcasing common decency, that's fine.
Here's my issue. My issue is, like, sometimes, like, the stuff that I don't like that Andrew Tate says is when he crosses the line and just goes to straight degrading. Because I have a daughter as well. I have a wife. I have a mother. Like, when you go to this place where you say things like, women they're just animals, or they're just, you should just treat them like bitches. Like, that's the way they need to be treated. Like, and I've heard him say stuff like that. That to me is not, there's no way you can spin that into a positive thing. You're literally taking half the population, actually 49% of the population, if you want to be technical. It's 51-49. We win.
51-50.
My brain's going to explode. 51-50? I don't get it.
Okay, good.
Uh-oh. I don't know what that means.
That's like, I think that's the diagnosis, or like that's the, if you get in trouble by the police and you're cuckoo out of your mind, they're like, 51-50.
That's why they didn't tell me.
We should call that the 50. No, we shouldn't have called it 51-50.
I lost my train of thought. What did I know?
No, you're basically saying it's not okay to classify. Okay. It's not okay to classify one entire group and indicate that they should be treated a specific way, because each relationship is unique and different. Just because somebody had a bad experience, because somebody had a bad experience with a man or a woman in their relationship, it doesn't mean that all women are bad or all men are bad. And that goes. And this is the thing. Yeah. Not all men are bad and not all women are bad. But however, there are bad apples in each particular basket.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at the generalization that a lot of people make, I think it is based off a bad experience, like you said. But like, you're also talking about your mom or your grandma or like, when you make statements like that. I look, I will say this: I am certainly not a feminist. I am not a feminist.
Well, I think
I hate that this word feminist is like become like
it's
a
distorted.
Label people with.
It's distorted because all the feminist movement was originally, they just wanted women to be able to vote and go to work if they wanted to and have some of the basic rights that men did. Okay. So I understand that, but the modern day feminism is disgusting. It's toxic. It's terrible. I don't like it. I don't want to be treated differently, a lot differently because I'm a woman, but at the same time, I would like to be treated with decency as a human being. Yeah. Like, I open up doors. Exactly. I open up doors for men.
Yes.
Like, if a guy wants to open up a door for me, I appreciate that. I think it's a very nice thing to do. But I just think that we're in this place to where we hate each other so much, and then we have all these extreme figures that are coming out selling courses indicating X, Y, and Z, when in reality that person's like real life day-to-day stuff is completely different than somebody else's. Because let me tell you something. I'm very particular with the men that I will entertain. Very, very particular. Very, very, very particular.
I don't know, Wendy. Anybody can show up on your channel and watch.
Oh, I mean, that's different. They can. But I'm very particular the men I entertain. And I would like a guy that pays.
I hope it's not stand-up comedy.
A guy that pays for advice on how to be masculine from another man. That's just weird to me. Like, I would not pay a woman for advice on how to be a woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. Like, I'm going to self-educate. I'm going to read books. I'm going to look at healing trauma. I'm going to do some like real soul
Wait a
searching work.
second. Wait a second. Are you saying that men shouldn't get men trainers?
That's different.
No. Like they train you how to be a man. Oh crap! I'm paying so much money for this guy.
But like lifting weights is different because like you
I'm
need
not talking
to
about a personal trainer. I'm talking about somebody that follows you around. It's like, oh, you missed a spot. You need to shave right there. Your dad would not be proud. And they just make you feel bad all the time.
Well, I don't kink shame again.
That wasn't a kink. I'm talking about shaving. They man shame you. That's what they do. Look, I think you're right. I think the feminism has gotten out of control to where it's become such a label that literally there are some women and also some men that try to white knight and say, I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist. And what they do is they just go too extreme.
Yeah.
They actually become comfortable hurting other people in order to prove that they are what they say they are. And that's the weakest kind of person that exists.
That is the whole purpose of feminism, is it so that women can vote. So they decide that they want to be a stay-at-home mom or be the homemaker or whatever that is, that they have the right to do that. So when you get to be extreme and you basically telling women what they can and can't do or what they should be able to do, then that's like reverseism of feminism or something. I don't even know. To me, it's stupid.
Mephinism. I want to say this. So I certainly am not a feminist, and I hate it when men label themselves. Now, look, if you're of a certain persuasion and that's what you want to do, you identify as a woman, whatever. That's fine. That's a different story. I'm talking about like men that try to use feminism to get chicks. Number one, it never works. She ain't gonna F you, bro.
No, and
it looks really weak.
It's the actual opposite.
Yes, 100%.
Girls actually do, well, I don't know, maybe it's because I have daddy issues, but I don't like to be told yes all the time. If somebody's yesing me for everything, a man that I'm dating, they're yesing me on everything. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, because I could do all those things myself if I wanted to.
No.
But
that was me just saying no, Wendy.
But like I don't know. I feel like there has to be a beautiful balance, and I think that relationships are very personal, and that people should, it's good to get tips and tricks. Maybe like getting some of the masculine stuff from Tate might help, but don't like call your girlfriend the B word unless it's consensual.
Yeah. And I think that when you look at, okay, I forgot where I was. I remember where I am now.
You're in Georgia.
I am in Georgia. So I don't like feminism, but I do definitely I'm all for equal rights. I'm all for women getting equal pay. I think sometimes that gets a little overblown, but I'm all for it. I would never pay a woman less here at Bitboy Crypto. Like that would be crazy. Like how much you get paid and how much you get paid. There's a guy over there. He just said he gets paid more. I guess I'm wrong. No, but in all seriousness, why would you? It makes no sense to me to judge someone's value on something like a race or a gender. Now, you could certainly say, I would think being a woman would help you in certain professions naturally, and same thing with men. Mm-hmm. But I think like I love women. Women should be able to. I sound like Donald Trump. I love women. But I think they should be able to do whatever they want. They should get equal rights.
Just as long as they
have equal rights for the most part.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
But like let's just treat people with respect. It's like not that hard.
No, not respect, because not everybody deserves your respect.
Yeah.
Decency.
Yeah.
Decency is a better term, because that's like bottom.
Yeah.
Because if you I don't always respect everybody, or I don't always respect their opinions for different reasons, different people. But this is kind of funny. Do you hear about the joke about the Instacart thing, that like where these people, they're looking, they put this Instacart order, it's women, and then they see it's a woman that's doing their Instacart order for them, and they're super excited, because the joke is when men go like pick fruit out or vegetables, they don't tell if it's ripe, they just grab like whatever's there.
Yeah.
And that's just a funny thing. It's not like a...
Yeah. I circumvent that because I don't eat fruits or vegetables.
Because you've got the disability.
So, yeah, I have ARFID, and it's a very serious thing. Now, if you guys were to try to cancel me over ARFID, first of all, I would sue you for a hate crime. Second of all, I don't know what I would do second. I would just sue you for a hate crime, and then they would probably end there.
But I thought lawsuits didn't...
I know that we're back in the lawsuits again. I just want to sue everybody. I don't know why.
I hate lawsuits. I think they're stupid. I think they waste time. I think they waste money. And I think that they're just stupid. I feel like what they should
I
do
know, it's
is
all
like
for the lawyers.
there should just be a big boxing ring and people should just duke it out with water guns.
The lawyers win in lawsuits.
Lawyers
period.
always win. But one thing I will say is that there are sometimes you do need lawyers for things.
Yeah.
And I get like when you're dealing with contracts or if there's a malpractice, like we're talking
Yeah.
about like healthcare malpractice, that's important.
Or if we ever get in a fight on the show and we have to do like a frenemy divorce.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty easy with that stuff. You can have everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can take everything.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Can I get that baby Yoda that's in the chair?
I guess
I don't know. It's been through some weird stuff, I think.
my
They
baby
probably
Yoda.
sell it on eBay.
My baby Yoda.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some weird things back there.
Oh.
On the show over your shoulder. Yeah, you can't tell, but there's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have if you want baby Yoda, that's fine. But we will have to come up with an agreement and make sure that that you're not taking care of baby Yoda because
That's in the prenup.
Yeah.
The frenemy prenup.
yeah
Yeah.
you can have the 5%.
Wow. Just always finding ways to demasculate me. It's wonderful.
Yeah, well, I'm just the alpha male, and I'm also too. I'm going to be dropping a course to teach you to become more masculine.
Yeah.
And that's simply just by believing in yourself, be confident, wake up, be grateful to whatever creator you believe in, showcase decency to others, give back when you can, self-educate, and that's it. That'll be $69.99.
Well, my last piece of advice is to keep your friends close and your frenemies closer. Thank you for tuning in to the Forever Frenemies show. We'll see you next week.